Is freedom of speech on the chopping block? A few years ago, VDARE, an organization that promotes the idea that U.S. immigration policy should benefit Americans, attempted to sponsor a conference at a Colorado Springs resort. The event was ultimately canceled after the local mayor accused VDARE of engaging in hate speech and announced that the group would not be allowed to access fire or police services during the conference. VDARE sued the mayor, alleging a violation of its First Amendment rights. If this is allowed to stand, it could have a huge implication for the future of free speech. And this comes from our friend Kurt Schlichter at townhall.com, who is also a lawyer, among being a patriot and international man of mystery. Kurt, thanks for being with us, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, Buck. Yeah, this is really ugly. Essentially, what you had is a politician who didn't like the speech of these people. And I don't know who these people are. I just know that some liberal guys saying they're bad people. Let's assume they are bad people. Let's assume they're terrible people. This mayor said, hey, nice hotel you got there. Be a pity if somebody attacked it, because we won't send cops or fire or anyone else to help you. I mean, that's what he said. And he succeeded in getting this place to say, well, gosh, then we're not going to host it. This is outrageous. But what's more outrageous is 2 out of 3 federal court judges said this was not an attack on the civil rights of these VDARE people.
This is stunning. I mean, by the way, the town hall piece referenced here is by Ann Coulter. Quote, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 10th Circuit, 1 Obama judge and 2 George W. Bush judges, appointees of those presidents, 1 dissent, found for the mayor on the grounds that it's possible the resort canceled, not because the mayor announced there'd be no police or fire protection, but because of Charlottesville, which VDARE had nothing to do with. Again, VDARE is an immigration website, not a street protest immigration organization. I don't even understand. Like, how is that even possible? I mean, you're a lawyer, Kurt. How can the judges? This just seems crazy.
It is crazy, and it's crazy for a couple reasons. The first is procedural. It's called what was there is a motion to dismiss under Rule 12b-6, and 12b-6 says you have to take the complaint, that is what VDARE accused them of, as if it's true, and then you look at it and see if all of that's true, is there a legal remedy? And these 2 judges said, well, the other side could prove something, but that's not the standard, Buck. They can certainly make that defense in court. I certainly would if I was defending them. But the fact is, the court didn't even abide by basic procedural rules in order to bend over backwards to find against what they probably considered were political opponents. And that's unbelievably dangerous. The courts have got to be neutral. Everyone, whether you like them or not like them, have got to be equal before them. VDARE and BLM both have a right to a neutral set of rules neutrally applied. I don't like BLM. I don't know anything about VDARE, so whatever.
I don't either, actually. So I was learning about VDARE in this article, but go ahead.
Yeah, let's assume they're the worst people on earth. Who cares? BLM shouldn't be subjected to this. You know, in a conservative town, a conservative bunch of people shouldn't say, well, you know, if you let BLM hold a rally on your property and a fire breaks out, we won't send the fire department. That'd be scandalous. That'd be outrageous. The difference is, conservatives would be saying that's horrible. You can't do that. I don't like BLM. I don't like Antifa, but they have a right to peacefully protest and to have the same access to government services everyone else does. But apparently that only goes one way, and that's unacceptable and unsustainable.
The city of Colorado Springs put out this statement that the city of Colorado Springs does not have the authority to restrict freedom of speech, nor to direct private businesses as to which events they may host. That said, I would encourage local businesses to be attentive to the types of events they accept and the groups they invite to our great city. We can't restrict your free speech, but if we don't like it, maybe the business is going to have some problems. I mean, it just feels like they're just being disingenuous.
So so the government is now saying you should be attentive to the kind of free speech you exercise. Well, what does that mean? What do you mean by attentive? Does that mean people who go right down the line with your politics? Because that is wrong and unsustainable. I hope the Supreme Court takes this case. And I hope that they smack these people around. One of the most important decisions of the last 50 years was the decisions with the scumbag Illinois Nazis. Everybody hates Illinois Nazis who wanted to march through Skokie, Illinois, and they were allowed to because everybody has a right to protest. Now, if you want to go out there and go, "Hey, you Nazi idiots! You're scumbags, you're losers, you're probably sexually dysfunctional." That's perfectly legit. But everyone has the right to free speech. Everyone has the right to peacefully protest. And that also goes for people you and I don't like. If you want to have a BLM rally that doesn't involve burning, looting, or murder, you are free to do so, and it's incumbent upon us as conservatives to protect your right to do so. Sadly, it appears that only conservatives are interested in that anymore. I would think the ACLU should be all over this, but it's probably busy suing to enforce trans insanity and mask mandates.
I gotta ask you, Kurt, just to switch gears for a second here. What's going on in Canada right now? We talked about at the top of the show, the seizure of bank accounts without even a court order, and the explicit anti-Trumpism coming from the Minister of Justice, their equivalent of the Attorney General. To me, this is like hair on fire, tyranny, craziness.
It is.
I'm just looking. I'm like, how can anyone say that Canada is still a free society? I mean, this is crazy.
Canada's not a free society. Free societies don't say that if you're going to engage in protest without any kind of process, we're just going to instruct companies, like happened in Colorado Springs, to go do our dirty work for us. Now, corporatism is, fascism is socialism plus corporations. They try and hide it, and there are always stupid conservatives out there, Buck, who go, "Well, it's a private company." No. Private companies cannot act as cat's paws for the government to destroy our civil rights. Here is the conservative principle that we need to operate on. We will not have any principles that make us less free. There is no way you can principle me into serfdom. And that's what that's what a lot of weak hearts on our side want to do. I'm
not sure you're a crypto guy or not, Kurt. I don't know.
I am not.
But did you see that now the DOJ in this country, right when crypto became something that might get around some of the Canadian finance restrictions for the truckers, FBI has announced they've got a special crypto enforcement unit going into effect now under the Biden regime. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that whoever is president in 2024, because it's going to be a Republican, needs to be woke to this and start firing people at the DOJ. Luckily, we have a Supreme Court, if not the district and all those districts and circuit courts, that does not that may well stand up for Americans' rights. Look, the fact is that the establishment has decided that since it can't enforce power by threats, what it wants to do is use corporations to effectively take people out of the economic system should they dare to dissent, and that is intolerable. We need to understand that this is a new threat, and we need to adapt our conservative principles to match it. William F. Buckley said it really well. He says, "I don't care." To be I'm paraphrasing. I don't care to be a serf of the government or General Motors. It's irrelevant to me who's taking my freedom. I don't want my freedom taken. And that's the way conservatives need to approach this.
Kurt, see you at CPAC, my man. Thanks for hanging out with us today.
Can't wait, man. See you there.